There are a lot of things that I want to talk about. I think I owe it to you guys since it's been weeks since I've made a video. So I'm going to comprise a list. I'm going to write it down right now, whole list. Find Jigsaw, Quick Remastered Script, Claire B Speed Run. Jesus, this was a long time ago. The hell is this? What the fuck was I doing? Practicing my autograph? Jesus Christ, talk about an ego. God damn it!
Get off my car, bird shit.
Ah! So it's been a while, hasn't it? Since the last time you guys saw my face. It's been probably close to a month and a half. And at least 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks since the last time you heard my voice in a gameplay Let's Play. So it's been a while. But I'm back. Maybe if only temporarily. I've been very busy between work and appointments. So yeah, I haven't even found the time to shave. So I look like a Sasquatch. And my nostrils are a forest. They're so bad that Manscaped would need a literal weed whacker to cut my nose hair. Which, by the way, this video is not sponsored by Manscaped. I'm just saying. Because I see it all the time in the ads. Anyway, I decided to make a very long rant video because these past few months there's been a lot of shit on my mind that I need to vent. It's gonna be very ugly. And if you're afraid or you don't want to watch it or you're just not interested, go to another video or YouTube channel because honestly, I don't give a shit anymore. You know, I just don't. So I've made a list. It's a whole page long. The first chapter is going to be entirely on YouTube. I fucking hate YouTube now. There, I said it. I loathe YouTube. Okay, maybe I'm just in a bad mood because it's hot as fuck. Because it's summertime and August sucks. And even when it rains, if anything, when it rains, it just makes New England more humid. So, yeah, that's a cherry on top. But yeah, I do not like YouTube anymore. And I think that's part of the reason why you see less and less videos that I make now, is because I just don't really care much for the way YouTube has been handling things. I think it's a little discriminatory that people who have less than 1,000 subscribers cannot live stream. They can't do community polls because, like, a lot of times when you look at, like, channels that are growing, that's part of the reason why they're growing, is because they have those extra tools to take advantage of to make, you know, live streams and like community voting polls and stuff. It's an easier way for them to get feedback. I can't do that. They're not giving me the power because I can't even get 1,000 subscribers. And I feel like if they did, I could have 1,000 subscribers. It would certainly make it easier. So yeah, that's something that I just hate. You know, I don't even have 500 subscribers, and that's kind of sad. I also don't like how copyright happy they are. I mean, they copyright so many fucking people for so many dumb reasons I don't even want to get into. They make them like they shove so many goddamn ads. I understand that is part part of the way for content creators to make money, of course. But still, I mean, there are videos that are like less than 30 seconds long, like little meme videos, like, funny short skits that have ads in them. I once had to wait 5 seconds to watch like a 3 second long clip. Literally, like there were more ads than there was actual content of a video. It's fucking stupid. It's retarded. um, I hate the amount of ads that are in YouTube videos in general. It's so frustrating. I got like a month of YouTube Premium that came with like a Game Pass perk thing. They said 1 month for free, but I still had to pay like a $1 admission fee or some shit. So it was $1 for a month of free YouTube Premium where you can skip the ads and shit, and that was actually really nice. I enjoyed that. So I'm not gonna pay like $15 a month for a regularly. I'll still sit through the ads and wait patiently. But whenever I get a chance to get, a dollar for a month, I'm taking it because that was very satisfying. It's also one of the reasons why I refuse to sell out my channel. I know that if I had have sold out, I would have been a much bigger YouTuber by now, but I don't want to sell out my creative outlet, to put sponsors in my videos, to make videos longer than they should be, to put things that the people who watch my work because of what I do, they don't want to see that. They're not sitting by to watch an ad or a sponsor. They're sitting by to watch me. So I just don't really like the idea of kind of tainting my vibe and just the way I do things, the way I like to do things with my edits and my acting and my scripts and my humor and my work to cater to a specific crowd of people. That's not who I am. I just like being myself in front of a camera, making fun of myself for you guys, making you guys laugh. That's what I'm all about. And if that means not making a penny on fucking YouTube, then so be it. I'll just keep working a regular job and being like everyone else. And, on my free time, keep making YouTube videos. That's it. And you know what? I'm happy with just that. So, it beats selling out your creative soul for being a fake YouTuber and sponsoring bullshit corporations. Um, so, yeah, I will never sell out my passion for money or ads. I don't mean to make it sound like, other YouTubers who are very successful are necessarily sellouts, because there are like YouTubers who have found ways to kind of like implement their sponsors into their craft and into their work and make it funny. Like I watch Angry Joe often, and whenever he makes like a what was it, like one of those shit podcast videos, the AJ News, he kind of incorporates skits into his sponsors, and it makes it entertaining to watch. So I feel like, in that sense, Angry Joe isn't a sellout. It's not like he's turning into a robot and, they are the best corporation on the face, like, buy this product. No, he's fucking funny about it. He's still creative about it in his own way. Pro Jared is the same way too. He incorporates sponsors in a way that kind of fits his persona. So, there are exceptions. Um, and, I still like a handful of big YouTubers who sponsor in their videos, but, it's a personal choice, and I understand that, and, they have an opportunity to make money very easily by doing that. I just prefer not to live that way, and I just prefer not to make videos that way. You know what I mean? I don't mean to make it sound like I'm judging people who choose to. I just don't want to like sell out my work or have people tell me what to say and not to say in my videos, you know. So yeah, um, YouTube. Another thing I hate about YouTube is the toxicity. It is worse than it's ever been. You know, it's like you're not allowed to like voice your opinion. Otherwise, you're just gonna fucking get bashed so much that like I've cared less and less to even comment. Like there was some poll. I don't know if it wasn't a poll, it was like a video or something. It might have been like an appreciation video. It was about Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and I made a comment saying how much I think it's like a really underrated and sort of like overlooked game in the series, critically speaking. When I say critically, because a lot of people misinterpreted what I meant. Black Ops 2, at the time that it came out in 2012, was the highest selling game of all time at that point, until it was surpassed a year later by GTA 5. And a lot of people were under the impression that when I said underrated, I meant undersold. That's not what I meant. I meant underrated, as in underappreciated or underreviewed. It didn't get as good reviews as I thought it deserved. I loved Black Ops 2. I think it's the best Black Ops game. I think it has even the best story of any Call of Duty. I think it's like in my top 3 favorite Call of Duty games of all time. It's right up there with Call of Duty 4 and World at War. I fucking love Black Ops 2. There are a couple problems I had with it, like the multiplayer maps weren't too great, but the campaign was so intuitive compared to the rest of the campaigns in all the Call of Duties. It actually had a choice-driven narrative with different endings and different paths that lead to different other outcomes. It was insane. I loved Black Ops 2. Other people hated it. And you can probably guess why, because they only fucking bothered to play the multiplayer. These are the voices of fucking idiots who only care about multiplayer. And they didn't even touch the campaign, probably. So, yeah, you know, the multiplayer wasn't the best, but, you know, I love the campaign, and it got bad user ratings. If you go on Metacritic and look up Black Ops 2, it still got good critical reviews, you know, it got like mostly 8s, which is probably what it deserved, but I was just talking about the fucking user side, you know. User rating, it got negative. But all Call of Duty games nowadays get negative because they fail to innovate. But that's what Black Ops 2 did. It innovated. And it innovated in the campaign, and it still got bashed. That's why I said it was underrated. Not because it didn't sell well or not enough people played it. I mean, obviously enough people played it. It's a fucking Call of Duty game. I mean, like even like the poorest selling Call of Duty game sold millions. Like what was it? Like Call of Duty Ghosts or something? Like even that one sold a lot. Or Advanced Warfare, even that one sold a lot. Infinite Warfare, same thing. Call of Duty games sell like crazy. So obviously I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about critical praise. And apparently, people have a problem with the word underrated. Apparently, it's a phrase where a lot of people look at it as dismissive or looked down upon. Like, it is an opinionated word. I don't mean to make it sound like my opinion is better than other people's opinions, because they're not. It's just my opinion, right? It's still an opinion. I'm not trying to make it sound like a fucking fact, even though it was a fact that the campaign was different than the other ones. Whether you think it was better or worse is up to you, but it's a fact that the campaign was different, that it had different endings. So, yeah, people got up in arms. Apparently, the whole underrated and overrated word is just too much for them. They're too triggered by it. Um, I don't mean to make it sound like pompous or anything, but I thought that Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is a very underappreciated entry in the franchise. It was a very daring, bold entry. And it took chances. And I like that. I like games where just as the franchise starts to get kind of stale or repetitive, a new entry tries to do something different. Even if it doesn't succeed, I always respect it for doing that. So yeah, do not use the word underrated, folks, because if you do, the fucking lynch mob will come after you, or overrated, or whatever. Which is funny because apparently Joe Blow movies or whatever, blowjob Joe Blow movie trailers, they've been doing a lot of like, is this movie underrated, overrated, or properly rated? Apparently they don't have a problem with that, but whatever. Um, so yeah, YouTube sucks, man. I could go on and on. I also have an unpopular opinion too. I understand that. Maybe not so much movies, but especially in video games, I find that I'm on the other side of the fence in terms of like the better games in the series. My opinions are oftentimes different. Like Resident Evil, for example. Even though we all agree that 5 and 6 are like the worst ones, right? Because they're just like mindless action games and they're not even like great action games at that. I thought Resident Evil Village was a better game than 7. Most people disagree. Even though 7 was in general creepier and like eerier, um, Village to me was simply more fun to play. I feel like it added some of the horror from 7, but also some of the fun factor from 4, like leveling up your guns and visiting the merchant and stuff, and finding treasures and selling them. To me, it was like a near perfect Resident Evil. I loved Village. It was probably like my favorite Resident Evil game since like 1 remake. I loved it. A lot of people hated it, and I'm not sure why, really. I mean, maybe it's because the big vampire lady wasn't in it for that long, so, false advertising or whatever. But if you backtrack to Resident Evil 4, I remember when Resident Evil 4 was coming out, the only villain I remember being advertised in Resident Evil 4 was Chief Mendez, the main antagonist from like the village part, like only the first part. He was only in it for like the first quarter of the game, if that, the first fifth of the game, and the rest of it was, Salazar and Sadler and Krauser and all these introduced people that we never saw advertised before. So who fucking cares, man? She was just one villain of many villains. So yeah, I'm sorry that the big vampire hot girl wasn't the main villain. I'm sorry that it was someone else. Whatever. I don't care. It didn't really affect it that much for me. Yeah, it was a marketing ploy. I understand that. And, I guess some criticism should be on that, as well as the kind of unoriginal Frankenstein design monsters with the propellers. Apparently, they ripped it off of something, and it does look like a ripoff. I will admit that. There are some things that were shitty about that game, but gameplay wise and narrative wise, I really didn't mind it at all. Um, so yeah, I also think 4 remake, and not 4 remake, although 4 remake might not do that that well. We'll see. But the original Resident Evil 4, in my eyes, has always been a tad overrated. People herald it as like the first third-person shooter, even though that's not accurate at all. There were plenty of third-person shooters beforehand. There was, Siphon Filter, which I guess technically is like more like a first-person shooter when you aim down the sights, but it's still like a third-person shooter, as well as the first 2 Splinter Cells that came out before it, where you equip the rifle and it's over the shoulder. So I feel like Resident Evil 4 gets too much praise. It was not the first of its kind. It was, I mean, maybe like movement wise and like adventure wise, visually it was breathtaking. It was remarkable. But I never really thought too highly of Resident Evil 4. The story felt too disconnected from the other entries. It actually felt more like a reboot than an actual sequel. Because they introduced this brand new, like, Las Plagas. It was no longer T or G virus. It was just like this brand new thing where the zombies acted more like humans, and because of that, it felt less like a zombie game, more like more drifting on towards action. Still had some scary parts here and there, but you know what I mean. Um, so yeah, Dark Souls 2 is another one. I like Dark Souls 2 at least more than Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 for me was too short, too linear, and just too small. And like it took me like half the time to beat Dark Souls 3 than Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 had better bosses and better music. But that's about it. I thought Dark Souls 2 was better, had better ideas. Um, Mass Effect 1 gets a lot of shit because of the technical issues, but I still love the story. I'm not going to talk about it at all in case you've never played Mass Effect before. Play Mass Effect. It's like the best sci-fi game ever made, best sci-fi trilogy of all time, in my opinion. You know, uh, but yeah, Mass Effect 2 is considered the best one by a wide margin, and it's actually my least favorite of the trilogy because I feel like it's the most watered down in terms of RPG mechanics. It's mostly a shooter, whereas Mass Effect 1 had extensive modification. It had so many RPG elements, and it felt the most original in terms of story and lore, and it introduced this universe, this sci-fi universe with different species so well. I remember when my brothers and I first played it, we got sick, physically, like nauseating, but almost like in a good way because it was just so expansive. This universe, it felt like a true next gen game, even though there were really bad frame rate issues in certain parts and texture pop ins and all that. It didn't really bother us too much. Mass Effects 2 and 3 were more polished, but 2 especially was more watered down. I remember 3 having slightly more weapon mods and stuff. It also had a better story, in my opinion, than 2. I thought 2's story was garbage. I thought the pacing was awful. All it was recruiting people and doing their loyalty missions, and getting their loyalty so that they don't fucking die in the last mission. And that was basically the whole of Mass Effect 2. 3, Mass Effect 3 had a horrible ending, but the rest of the story was awesome. So from best to worst, my rank goes Mass Effect 1, and then 3, and then 2, and then Andromeda, obviously, last. The only thing Andromeda does good is like the vehicle exploration. That's about it. Um, you know, GTA 4. I love GTA 4. It's one of my favorite games of all time, actually. I love it. It may not have the most fun gameplay, but I love the physics engine. I love how funny the cartoony kind of like ragdoll physics were. I remember purposefully jumping out of my car and just ragdolling all over the place. Whenever Nico gets drunk with his cousin or little Jacob or Packy or whatever, the physics are hilarious. The drunk driving is so cool that when I played GTA 5, it's like they got rid of all that interaction and it just felt disappointing by comparison. The story wasn't as good. Um, I think San Andreas probably has like the most fun to do open world wise, but once again, I thought the presentation of Grand Theft Auto 4 was the darkest of any Grand Theft Auto. It was so dark and mature and serious, and it had a lot to do with like revenge, like the price of revenge, and how that can consume a soul. And it was just really thought provoking. I love Grand Theft Auto 4. It's probably in my top 10 favorite games of all time. But a lot of people hate it. I don't know why. And you know what? I don't think I want to know why, because they're probably fucking stupid reasons anyway. You know, they're probably really fucking dumb reasons. Like, oh, it's got a cover system. Like, how is that a bad thing? Like, a fucking GTA finally has a cover system, so you don't need to like shoot people while standing in the open. Like, oh wow, excuse us for trying to like advance to the next generation of gaming. Hello, like, shooters have cover systems now, like Gears of War. Get used to it. um, but yeah, GTA 4. Road Rash 1 is another one. I liked Road Rash 1 more than Road Rash 2. Most of you don't even know what Road Rash is. It's a series that only existed in the 90s. Like from 91 to like 2000, and EA dropped it because that's when EA started getting all shitty. But yeah, Road Rash 2, I remember having a worse experience. I remember the frame rate being choppier on the Genesis, and I don't remember having that problem with the first one. It could just be nostalgia, but I don't know, man. When I made that Road Rash trilogy Let's Play way back in like 2012 or 2013, um, I noticed the difference immediately. Like, I loved Road Rash 1, I hated Road Rash 2, and I kept getting, like, knocked off my bike at the worst fucking possible timing, and, like, landing right next to a fucking police motorcycle. Like, and then I just immediately went to Road Rash 3 and had a better time. Oh my god! You know what? No, fuck this. Fuck this. So, Road Rash 2, I do not like, for reasons that I'm not particularly sure myself. I mean, in many ways, Road Rash 2 is superior. It's got more weapons. Um, but yeah. And Road Rash 3, of course, is like my favorite. Um, and Deus Ex Human Revolution is like my third or fourth favorite game of all time. I enjoy that more than the original. The original was awesome, but it's outdated. Not having a knockout system and not being able to like sneak up to people and knock them out makes stealth a lot harder in the original Deus Ex than in Human Revolution. Human Revolution's a lot easier to take seriously because the voice acting is more serious, the story is darker a little bit, and overall, I think that the thematic presentation of Human Revolution was better than the original. Um, I also like Shadow Warrior 2 more than 1. I've already explained why in my Shadow Warrior 3 impressions video. Fear 2 I like more than Fear 1, only because the control scheme on the console was better. I also thought it was a little bit scarier than Fear 1. Um, Two Worlds 1, I think I like a little bit more than Two Worlds 2. I already made a video about that years ago, even though Two Worlds 2 is superior in a technical way. And yeah, I can go on and on. I have tons of different, like, unpopular opinions, but I've said enough. It's funny how PlayStation Plus tried to, like, expand on it by giving us like an extra and premium option. It's like $120 a year for the full package, like PS3 games, and they got rid of PS Now and implemented it into these new systems like extra and premium, which also includes like PS1 classics. Xbox Game Pass, I think, is still a better deal than PS Plus Premium, because I feel like Game Pass still offers more deals. Like, I have Game Pass Ultimate right now, 3 months, because they offered a $1 deal. They've been offering like $1 for 3 month deals for a couple years now. Like every year they do it, and every year I hop on it because it's such a good deal. I don't see PlayStation doing that. Like, if PlayStation ever did like a $1 for 3 months of premium, PS Plus, I would jump on it, but they don't, and they still don't have like a reward system yet. You know, like with even Nintendo Switch has their own little rewards thing. Like when you buy stuff on the eShop, you get like these gold coins that you can use for your next purchase to, get a little bit of money off of. Sony is the only brand that doesn't have like a reward system where you can accumulate points over time. So yeah, and lately I've been using those points on Xbox to get like discounts on games and buy free months of Game Pass Ultimate for 12,000 points or whatever. I think I have like 23,000 points saved up right now, and I'm waiting for something to go on sale, and I'll get like a gift card, a digital gift card, and use it towards that. you know um and I feel like a combination of that leads me to believe that Xbox Game Pass is still better than PlayStation Plus. However, I will say that Xbox Live Gold should merge with Game Pass. Gold should just go away because they're now getting rid of 360 games, I believe. And for the longest time, you've been able to keep your 360 games with the monthly offers even after your subscription ends, and that's going away. So that's a big blow to people who love to get free games permanently. Like, I don't even care anymore. I don't even care about Game Pass. I mean, I don't care about games with gold anymore because of that. So they should just merge all the gold offerings into Game Pass. Just make it simple, you know. And for everyone who's had only gold, just give them Game Pass for the rest of their subscription service. Really, be nice about it. Give them good deals, man. Complimentary stuff. Um, just give them Game Pass if they already have gold but no Game Pass. That's it. That's all you gotta do. I can't decide what I want for a next gen console, and I know it's because they're so hard to get that should I want to get a PS5 the most, only because PS5 still has like my favorite games, but I'm actually aiming more towards a Series X because it's slightly easier to get a hold of than a PS5. Um, or a Steam Deck, maybe, like one of those, like, PC handheld things that would be really cool. But even those are really hard to come by. And the prices on all of these are criminally high. I don't know why it's like not illegal to raise the price up higher than its ceiling price, like its base price of what it's originally supposed to be. Like Walmart is selling them for like $800 as opposed to 500. Fucking Target. I saw like a Target deal and I got really excited because like the Target down, a couple cities down from where I live, they had like one more Series X in stock. But what they wanted to do was they wanted to make me pay $35 a month for 24 months. 2 years. $35 a month. Do the math. That is literally like $820 over the course of fucking 2 years. Are you fucking out of your mind? By the time 2 years comes by, I might be able to find a Series X for like fucking half that price. You're fucking scamming people, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate the scams. I'm done. You know what? I'm just gonna get a Series S for 300 or a used one for 250 if I'm that desperate to just keep up with like new third-party games like a Plague Tale Requiem or RE4 Remake or Dead Space Remake. I'll just get a Series S and fucking deal with it digitally. I'm not a big fan of digital games, but I'll fucking you know what? I'll deal with it. Okay? because there's gonna come a time when I am gonna eventually want a new gaming system to play current gen games on, and it's probably gonna be a Series S. But you know what? That'll be good. It'll work in my favor probably because it's essentially a Game Pass machine, and the vast majority of Xbox games I play are through Game Pass anyway. So it might just work itself out. You know, A Plague Tale Requiem is coming out October 18th, day one, on Game Pass on Series X. So yeah, maybe I'll get a Series X. I mean, not an X, an S. This fucking Microsoft can't. They don't know how to name their consoles. A Series S. I might get one in October, so maybe you'll see an unboxing video in October. Yeah. But then again, maybe I won't, because my backlog is way too big anyway. I got hundreds of games I still need to play on PS4, a few dozen to play on Xbox One. You know, I got a handful to play on Switch with the Switch Lite that I've hardly played since I got it like last fall. So maybe I'll become a Switch gamer then, you know? Get new games on Switch. There's no shortage of, you know, good exclusives on Nintendo side. My backlog's too big, so maybe I just shouldn't worry about it in the meantime, you know. I do want more demos too. That's the thing. Like I remember games back in the day on PS2 and a little bit on Xbox 360. There used to be so many demos to let you know whether you might like a game or not, you know. And I feel like we need demos now more than ever because a lot of games come out like trash, dude. Could you imagine how useful it would have been if they had given us a demo of like Cyberpunk? But that would have been a dumb move on their part. It's like it would just told the whole world that Cyberpunk cannot come out in that state. But even still, you know, I wish there was more demos. I feel like it would help settle down the hype because to me hype is like cancer now. Hype is just it makes us think that a game is going to be like evolutionary, you know, and they always make a game look better than it ends up being. And I feel like demos would kind of like settle the hype level down a little bit, you know, and let us know what it is, but not in the same sense as like early access either. Like early access is just it's just the developer's way of releasing a game unfinished and fixing it down the line, you know, and that's I don't like that either. So I don't know, guys. I'm just ranting on. I don't really know what I want. I just want games to come out more finished, and I want more demos because I feel like it will show that the developers also have more confidence in their product. I want more demos. Hype sucks. Hype is cancer. There's a reason why I'm not really hyped for any games anymore. It's because of games like Cyberpunk. It's because of games like Avengers. It's because of games like Battlefield 2042. I just don't get hyped anymore for games. Period. I just don't. Elden Ring was a big surprise though. That game was amazing. But I even then I wasn't even hyped before it came out. I was like, all right, cool. It's getting great reviews, so yeah, I'll get it, you know. And I'm glad I did because it's a fucking phenomenal game. I want to go on a little multiplayer rant. I hate multiplayer. I think multiplayer sucks. I don't like PC players because they cheat and mod, and I hate how a lot of games, when you have crossplay turned off, the player pool is so small. That's actually why when I played Sniper Elite 5, when I said that the multiplayer was dead, it's because I had crossplay disabled, and I had forgot that I had it disabled. So when I turned on crossplay, when I went back to Sniper Elite 5 and turned on crossplay and played with the PC elitist crowd, who have no fucking life, and they absolutely fucking suck, so they resort to cheating. The multiplayer experience is even worse when crossplay is enabled. And that sucks, because I really like Sniper Elite 5, and the multiplayer kind of brings it down a little bit, but it's not the fault of the game. It's the fault of the fucking player base. It's the fault of the PC. The PC, master race and their cheating ability, like in Halo Infinite. And you have the crossplay enabled in that fucking game. Good luck. You're not gonna have a good time with the aim bots and all that shit. Multiplayer gaming in general now is fucking trash. People trash talk all the time. People, they cheat, they teabag, like even when they're not the ones who've killed you. Oftentimes they'll just fucking teabag every body they see. My favorite though is when the teabaggers immediately get killed because they're so focused on teabagging that they're not aware of their surroundings, so they get fucking just shot up while they're teabagging. I love that, man. That is instant karma right there. Unsportsmanship gets instant karma. Fucking multiplayer, dude. I hate multiplayer. I still play multiplayer games every once in a while, but very rarely do I ever find any enjoyment in multiplayer, competitive multiplayer. Cooperative, is a nice change of pace, but competitive multiplayer is fucking toxic. I'm not just saying that because I personally suck, which I kind of do on most multiplayer games, but um, most multiplayer games. Excuse me, I gotta drink an iced tea because I'm getting dehydrated and frothy. Most multiplayer games I tend to avoid, you know, and that even goes for like free to play games even. That's one of the reasons why you don't really see me review free to play games anymore. Because I've just been kind of like veering away towards multiplayer. I've also been noticing these past couple of years that free to play is turning into pay to win. I know that it has existed in the past. Like, I have reviewed a couple pay to win games like Frozen Free Fall and that Ace Combat game. But it's getting like worse and worse. Like Diablo Immortal, that's like one of the worst games ever made. It's like the worst game of the year, and it's all just because it's a pay to win scam. Um, it's just all dirty business, all this talk about microtransactions and loot boxes and NFTs. I don't even know what fucking NFTs mean. All I know is it's bad news. It is just nothing but greed. Like Bitcoin. It's nothing but fucking greed. There's no real end game. It's just greed. Um so yeah, you know, I just don't like gaming in general these days. I find myself less and less enthusiastic. Early access, live service, shit. Fucking developer roadmap. Like, game developer roadmap? Are you fucking serious? Where was this roadmap before you released the game? You develop a game first, and then you do a then you release it. You don't release a game before you fucking developed it. Oh, we're excited to show you all these new features in our new development roadmap. Like, are people really buying into this fucking bullshit? Are people really buying into this bullshit? Really? Stop doing this, because if you do this, I'm not going to support you anymore. I'm not going to buy your fucking products. Fucking developer roadmaps, loot boxes, live service, pay to win, NFTs. Gaming is gambling. Holy shit. One of these days, I'm just gonna stop playing video games. I'll find a new hobby. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't. I also don't give a shit about wireless controllers. I hate wireless controllers. Either they run on batteries like Xbox, or they run on lithium batteries like PlayStation. So, you gotta either continuously use, either regular batteries or rechargeable batteries for Xbox controllers, or when the battery in this goes out, you gotta buy a whole fucking different PlayStation controller. Which in the long run is probably less expensive than spending hundreds of bucks on fucking batteries for Xbox. But still, it's fucking stupid. Was wired controllers really that much of an issue back in the PS2, GameCube days? I don't remember it being an issue. I mean, the way I see it, if a cord gets fucking tangled up, it's your own goddamn fault, right? I always took the blame, whenever something got fucking tangled up. I'm like, oh shit, the controller's tangled up with the power cable and, the AC adapter or whatever. HDMI, whatever. Apparently, cables are such a big issue that it's just better to have wireless, even though it's more, it puts a hole in your wallet as opposed to simply having a wired controller. Like when I tried to go on Xbox 360 the other day, my wireless controller just died. No matter how many new batteries I put, it just wouldn't turn on. For some reason, my old 360 wireless controller just died, and I ordered a wired controller, like an actual real wired into the circuits of the main controller, and it's worked fine so far. So yeah, man, wired all the way. But unfortunately, I, I don't get it. I don't get it. Just because something is more advanced doesn't necessarily mean it's more convenient for us. Okay? It's like those fucking hand dryers from bathrooms. Like I would rather just have paper towels. Paper towels dry your hands faster than those stupid fucking air dryers that they have in my work bathroom. It's fucking annoying, dude. It's like I have to after I wash my hands, right? I'll have my hands under the goddamn hand dryer for like 15 seconds, and my hands are still fucking soaking wet. I find myself having to rub my hands on my shirt and leave water prints on my shirt and my pants. Get rid of them. They're fucking useless. And they're worse for the environment than paper. Fucking idiots. This is the future. Yeah, it's not a real good idea. Just because it's a new idea doesn't mean it's a good one, man. Fuck. Dude. I got a problem with people. I got a real bad people problem. I don't really consider myself antisocial, but I do have very few friends. Sometimes I don't have there are some points in my life where I have no friends. Uh, it's just because I just don't like most people, especially on the internet. First off, I don't like the whole gamer stereotypes they have on us, where like just because you're a gamer, you don't work for a living, or you have no job, or you're like a virgin or some shit. Like, okay, I mean, if you say so. I mean, some of us have kids, some of us are married, most of us have jobs. Uh, so like, where is all this shit coming from? Like, it's like a stigma. Like, if you're a gamer, you're not a real man or something. Like gaming's a fucking hobby. Like, how is it any different than you sitting on your fat ass, eating fucking potato chips and watching Netflix for like fucking 12 hours a day? How is this any fucking different from any other goddamn addiction? It's not. There's no fucking difference. Like, when you come home from a hard day of work, you've earned those couple of hours from whatever you do for a living. You've earned those hours to do whatever the fuck you want. It's not in your position to judge people for doing whatever they want in their fucking free time. Leave them the fuck alone. Leave us the fuck alone. Let us enjoy our games, even if it can only be indie games, because like I said, most mainstream AAA games now are crap. But still, let us enjoy our games that we do enjoy. Holy shit, man. And gaming is never taken seriously too, compared to like other mediums and stuff. Like it's only recently that like the Hugo Awards have made a category for best game. You know, Hugo Awards is mostly for books, but recently they've opened up, and I like them for that. Like Hades became the first game to win the best game award at the Hugo Awards in 2020 or last year or something. Um, but yeah, gaming in general is still like frowned upon, and I hate it. Like it's no different than like binge watching all your fucking stupid superhero movies. It's no fucking different, dude. Like, cut the shit, man. So yeah, you know, I do like how nerd culture is slowly starting to become like more accepting because I'm a nerd, and I do enjoy like Star Wars and shit, you know. But yeah, man, I hate society. I hate the media. I fucking hate people, especially from like the right side of politics, constantly weaponizing the word woke. Woke to me nowadays is like it's like an expression used by people who don't want like women in their video games and their stories and stuff. Um, or women who are like capable of accomplishing things that men have been like I don't know. Really, it doesn't fucking bother me, okay? Because 40 years ago, you had Ellen Ripley kicking ass in Aliens, and Sarah Connor whipping Terminator ass, and fucking Samus Aran in Metroid. You know, Laura Croft kicking ass, even though her image was like sexualized. They gave her big tits and shit. You know, but still, I mean, like women have been strong in for decades. You suddenly have a problem with it now? Like I don't understand. I don't get it. I just don't see it. Like I mean, it'd be one thing if like they're being like if they're actually being like discriminatory towards men or something, but whenever I play something that has a woman, like I don't feel like I'm getting intimidated or like my fragile ego or something is being torn by a woman. Like I don't fucking dude, I love strong women. I actually have a thing for strong women, all right? Like I love a woman who knows how to handle herself, all right? That's just me, man. I fucking love strong women. I don't like the whole like weak winkly you. Like come on, man. I love women who love to get dirty and just fucking like that's just me. But like a lot of like big shot muscular men, yeah, all the men do all the hard work and fucking suck those bitches around. Like they think that like women are literally objects and they have no say. Like this same people who fucking banned abortion rights and like people who are not pro-choice. It's got nothing to do with being pro-abortion. It's got nothing to do with being pro-abortion. I'm not even pro-abortion in a lot of situations, but I am pro-choice in that it's a woman's body and I should have no fucking say in it. So yeah, it's an extension of women's rights is being pro-choice. So they're gonna take away that. They're probably gonna take away voting rights for women. Give it 20 years. We'll be back. We'll be back in the year 1890 in no time. Yeah. We'll divert back when black slavery was a thing. African Americans get no rights. Oh yeah, yeah, we're going backwards. Culturally, we're going backwards. Um, um, but yeah, man, the whole like woke, like get broke or whatever the fuck, like get woke go broke. I don't really understand it. I mean, there are a couple exceptions where it can be a little excessive. Like you see nothing but like gay guys and women, and like maybe there is a line, right? There's a line where it's too much, but I personally don't give a shit because gays have existed for thousands of years. Like if you go back to like ancient Greece, I mean, there's plenty of people who, when you read about them, you're like, huh, I think this guy might have been gay. I mean, like gay people have existed for hundreds of years and thousands of years, and cross dressers, drag queens. They've been around since like the 60s and 70s. So, it's not a new thing. Like, these are things that have been around for a while, but all of a sudden, people have a problem with it. Instead of just like fucking letting them live their, however they want to live their lives. Like, you don't have to approve about it to accept it or respect it. But whatever. I just hate because I hate people who like constantly spam the same word, because when you do that, it kind of loses its original meaning. Like now, like for me, woke no longer means a fucking thing because too many people are using it. Like it has no substance now. It has no foundation. It's literally just a word used as an insult. You know what I mean? It really is. When was the last time you heard of anyone who used woke in like a positive context? It is derogatory now. So stop fucking using it. You know what else I really hate about people in general? A lot of them look down on retail workers or fast food workers or kids who work minimum wage jobs and stuff. And, I work at Dunkin's. I just got hired like a month ago. And granted, I've only been working part time so far, but, I'm still in training. I'm still learning how to do just about, everything you have to do. And, sometimes when I make a drink for somebody or, make a freaking really unhealthy bagel or, sausage, egg, and cheese wrap or some shit, or hash browns. And, if I take a little bit too long, they get frustrated and like they get so impatient and they call you names and all sorts of just really rude shit. Like, I never understood why people who work in certain fields are like looked down upon as like subhuman. Like, it's a service, yes. I'm serving customers. But how is it any different from any other fucking job? Like, if you think about it, almost every job on the face of the earth is a service of some kind. Whether you work in construction, you're serving, you're serving a business, or you're serving your state, by working on a highway, or if you're a mechanic, you're serving customers. Once again, you're fixing someone's car. How is it any different from simply serving them their breakfast or coffee or ringing up groceries? You're still serving people. I never understood why. It's not like it's not like they're easy jobs either, because you're still working. I work so fucking hard at Dollar General, man, stocking huge boxes and putting away fucking 60-pound bags of dog food, and doing that in between rushing orders and running to the register and fucking falling on my ass running to the goddamn safe in time, okay? um, like I worked hard. I don't need this bullshit. Okay? Every good worker works hard. And you know what? Every good worker makes mistakes too. Okay? Especially when they're in a rush or they're in a hurry. You make mistakes. We're only human. We all fucking make mistakes. Okay? I Please be more fucking appreciative, okay? Cuz I one of these days, man, I'm going to snap. I am just going to snap and I'm probably going to get fired for it, but you know what? It'll probably be worth it seeing the look on an asshole's face. Watch me snap back, okay? Maybe get charged with assault. I don't know, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, you gotta be nice to people. Otherwise, don't be surprised if you get a few punches in the face. Okay? Just be appreciative. Alright? I mean, without people who work at Dollar General or fucking McDonald's, you wouldn't be able to shop there. You wouldn't be able to get your nasty food from McDonald's if nobody worked at McDonald's. Duh! Like, people talk down to me. They used to, on Facebook, someone actually went on my Facebook page and looked at my job history. It's like, it's like, don't you still stay at home and play video games? And some jerk off was like, hey, take it easy on the poor guy. He was only the manager at the Dollar General. Like, he was being sarcastic. Like, what a fucking cunt. Like, what a fucking dirty ass cunt to like look on my Facebook page as a way to like think up of an insult or a comeback to me as a means of like countering an argument that has nothing to do with me. Like it's got nothing to do with like my personal background. Like you're really resorting to like attacking someone just because you can't fucking argue with them? Like go fuck your own grandmother, dude. Like really. Go shove a fucking cucumber up your ass. Like really. Like, this is why I fucking hate people in general. I hate people. I'm like Daniel Plainview from There Will Be Blood. I hate most people.
I hate most people.
Oh, and one more thing. Actually, two more things. I'm looking at my list, man. I skipped a couple things, didn't I? Oh, boy, yeah, I did. I skipped a couple things. One more thing, personally. Stop misspelling my name. Please stop misspelling my name. It's Darien. There, one R, not two R. I understand it's a very uncommon name. But then again, so is Keanu. Keanu. Or Joaquin. Joaquin. People don't have a problem spelling Joaquin Phoenix, but they got a problem spelling my name? It's Darien. It gets a little fuzzy towards the end, right? Because there's two vowels right next to each other. But it's just it's just Darien. Damien is Damien. Dorian, Dorian. Dorian Gray? Is it Dorian? I don't know. But still, they got two vowels right next to each other. Alright? And stop putting two R's in my name. When my boss hired me, she actually almost ruined my pay stubs because when she put my name in the system, she accidentally put a second R in my name. But thankfully, when she put in all my information, my bank account stuff, she put it in the correct way. If she hadn't of, I probably wouldn't be getting paid. The money would probably be filtered into like a non-existent account. So yeah, it almost got me in trouble in terms of my paychecks. Stop misspelling my name, please. It's annoying. It's not that hard to figure out. Darien. Darien. Dar, one R. No, 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 Kirk, no, 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 two R's. No, no, one. Kirk, listen to me. It's one R. I'm sorry. You know I love you, Kirk, but I'm just fucking with you. The first time around, it's alright. It's cool. Like, it's cool. You misspelled my name, but like to repeat it, come on, man. Stop yanking my chain. To wrap up this rant video, I will just close by saying, fuck QTEs. Fuck him to the moon. Especially the button mashing ones. For people with finger disabilities who can't tap fast enough because of some accident, with me. I kind of fractured I don't know if I fractured my thumb, but a few years ago when I was coming home from Dollar General, I was in a really pissy mood, and I accidentally slammed the screen door on my thumb, and it permanently kind of gave my thumb a twist. See that? That is not a straight thumb. My thumb is permanently like that. It's like a dick. Looks like a dick. It's my thumb. It's not my dick. But yeah, it's like it's crooked permanently. I never got it fixed. I never put like a splint on it. I probably should have, but it's a good thing it's my left thumb, because with button mashers, it's your right thumb that you do all the button mashing on the controller with the face buttons. But yeah, I mean, there are people with like finger disabilities, people with bad joints. They need that accessibility option to maybe like only hold instead of tap. Like that's what I did with Dying Light 2. It kept wanting me to like tap the X button to like open containers and shit, and like turn on generators. Like I don't know. I'll just hold the button and that's it. People with disabilities, some people are getting older. They're hitting their 40s, and their hands aren't what they used to be. And I love accessibility options in games. And I tried going back to God of War, the original God of War, with PS Now, and I couldn't beat the Hydra fight at the beginning, like literally the first boss in the game, because I couldn't tap the circle button fast enough. And this is my good thumb too. I just couldn't tap it fast enough. Maybe it was like a streaming problem or a latency problem, because PlayStation Now games are like stream only. But still, I couldn't bypass it. I couldn't play through the rest of the game again, just because of the stupid QTEs. So fuck button mashing QTEs. Make them go away. I don't want to see them return in games again. At least not mandatory. Make them optional if people want to fucking tap away. But give an option for people who don't have that speed anymore. And yeah, wow, that is a long ass rant. That's a lot longer than I anticipated. I had a lot of shit to talk about. I'm sorry, it's been a long time. This is probably the only August video you'll see, because I've been busy doing other things, like working and stuff. Um, But yeah. My camera's about to die. So, I'll see you later, and thank you for watching.
The Gamergods!
I hate most people.